mounting these large screens to the wall. I'm gonna go over our process, how to get fast at doing it, how to do it correctly so it doesn't fall and so that it's straight. First of all, I like to orient everything before we even start pulling our tools out so that it's easy throughout the process of mounting it. So like, we turn these things around so that when we open it, it's already facing the correct way. Keep all the tools that you need for the install just handy. You don't want to be like searching for tools. Keep them in either your tool pouch or in your bag nearby so you can just rip through these things. So the way it works is you mount, this onto the wall, and as long as this is straight and in the position that it needs to be, you just hook this on. So there's a little flange right there and a little hook, and you don't have to hold the TV up while you're mounting it. These are heavy. I think they're around 300 pounds or something like that. Keep all the hardware and stuff organized in one spot. So these all come with a hardware bag. So this is all the hardware and fasteners that are provided with it. I just dump this out, grab what I need, set it in a place where I can easily reach it if I'm holding something or holding my tools or whatever. So the way that they want these ones done, they want them centered with the whiteboards vertically. So on the very first one that we installed, we figured out that if we mount the plate at the top hole at 21.5 from the top of this, it puts them perfectly centered vertically on these whiteboards. So I marked 21.5 inches down on that. And then we don't have that big level in here, huh? It's also 58 3/4 from the top of the bottom molding. So we figure all these numbers out on the first one that we do, and then we either write them down, whatever we need to do to remember all these dimensions. So I've got my mark. Now I'm gonna level and put a line right here so that when we throw the mount up, no matter where it's at, we can see that line. I got a magnetic level, which helps. Instead of needing 3 hands, that just stays there. Come hold this, Josh. We want it 4 inches from the edge of this. That's where they want the edge of the screen. We figured out if we go 20 inches from the screen, put a mark there, and that's where the edge of this mount lines up when we're mounting it. We know that it will be 4 inches from the whiteboard. We'll find the studs behind the wall. So where our goal is to hit as many studs as we can because it's just more secure. So there's the edge of one. There's the other edge of it. So the stud's probably right here. This building's a little bit weird. Some of them are 16 on center, some of them are 18 on center, some of them are 12 on center. Some of them are wood, some of them are metal studs. So you have to make sure you have the right fasteners. If it's wood, you need some lags. If it's metal, you need, well, we're using snap toggles. So these don't really line up with these holes. So we have 3 inches of lateral movement, the way that this mount is designed. So we can cheat it over left or right and still slide the TV over to make it 4 inches away from the whiteboard. I'd go probably to the right, I guess.
There?
Yeah. So you can see this is where our stud was. So I'll go like probably right here. This is where our other stud was. We'll probably have to go right here. So what I'll do now is I'll just mark where these mount holes are. So we can likely hit 2 studs, 4 total fasteners, and then we'll just come down here where there isn't a stud and use a snap toggle. So we don't know if these studs are metal or wood. So we have a drill bit already kind of set up with to test if they're metal or wood.
Metal.
So that's metal. So he's going to do a pilot hole. And then I'm gonna come behind him. I'm gonna come behind him and drill the actual size hole that we need. And then these ones right here are not going into studs, but we use a 1/2 inch hole for the snap toggles that we're gonna use. We'll show you those in a second. Another thing is you always want both guys, if you're working in like teams of 2, for example, to be doing something all the time. If you're going for speed, if you're at a deadline or whatever. So while I'm doing this, he's preparing for the next thing. While he's doing that, I'm preparing for the next thing. So that it kind of just flows. So the way these work is that metal piece goes all the way in. Maybe clean it out a little bit.
Yeah.
And then, so it'll go in and then it'll flip and then it'll be flat against the back of the stud if you are behind a stud. And then if you look inside of these things, so this is how they work. So it goes in the wall, this flips up, you pull it back with this zip tie type thing, and now this is flat against the wall, and now you have threads in there, so this is basically your bolt. So that's what pinches everything together. These hold 155 pounds each if done into only drywall without the stud. If you put them in a stud, they're even stronger. So you just want to make sure, like, when you're setting these up, you can look inside and see that the threads are actually square. Might be hard to see with that far. And then that piece right there is just what holds that metal piece on the backside. It just holds it there. So I got the washers right here. So now that we have those in place, was it right here? Or was it, oh, there's the line.
That one's on the end, over there.
Like that?
So what lined up with the holes? At the end of that one.
End of that one?
Yep.
Okay. So these can be tricky sometimes. You gotta get them past that plastic part. So now it's past the plastic part, it's up against that metal piece with the threads. What I do is I like to back turn them until it clicks. And that way you know the threads are aligned. They're kind of tricky sometimes because a lot of times that that metal piece in the back, there we go. It's not exactly flush with the wall. I think that's good. So I've already got my drill ready with the correct bit on there. Make sure it's level. Oh.
That one in.
That's why these things are tricky. So what I did there, when I pushed in to drill it, the metal piece just kind of fell out. And if you spin the drill, the metal piece just spins because there's nothing holding it. So I pulled back on it to press it up against the backside of the wall, and then I could screw it in. So that's the only downside of these. They're very strong, but they're a little finicky when it comes to getting them threaded. I might have to come back to that one. So that one broke off. It probably fell into the wall. But we have enough anchors here that we'll be fine. Okay. So now we'll just lift the TV up. Hook those on. We'll come over a 1/2 inch. Perfect. And this last piece, these long, really annoying screws that kind of lock the TV onto that mount. Oh, sorry. They're kind of really hard to do. I don't like these. So that you can't just lift the TV off of the mount. I don't know why they make them so long. But this process is pretty much like 90% of the screens that we hang. Same, maybe small variations, but that's pretty much how you would mount a big screen. Plate that goes on the wall, that's secured, and then the TV that kind of just hooks on with flanges. That's it.